Hello there, BookTube. My name is Daniel. Welcome back to my channel, Guilty Feet. I've got no rhythm, and today I'm going to do a sort of a whole bunch of things. I'll give you an update where I am. It's just to do with my literary white whales. This is kind of a mid-year freak out. I have a bit of a book haul, and I'll tell you where I am. I've been on for a while, but I'm still reading the same book I was reading last time because I started one of my literary white whales, which is Bleak House, and I'm embarrassed to say I haven't got very far, which means I haven't been reading anything. I only read one book at a time. I'm committed to Bleak House. We flew to London. And flew back from London, and I didn't do any reading at all. This time last week, I was in Edinburgh for my nephew's wedding. We had a fantastic time. So Mazal to Sam and Hailey, thank you for having us. I was there with all my kids, all their partners, my mum, my whole family. It was all fabulous. The wedding was a beautiful outdoor ceremony at a country house east of Edinburgh. We had fabulous weather, and then we had dancing in the courtyard with a klezmer band. And just a magnificent, wonderful, wonderful day. Great memories, but got very little reading done. So I'm still reading Bleak House. It's still at the beginning of Bleak House. But this weekend I'm going to do something I never normally do, which is interrupt reading to read something else. And it's something else that I normally never do, which is a reread. I'm going to be rereading Kent Harouf's novel, which I can't say in my British accent. And the reason I'm rereading this weekend is because on Sunday I am leading a book group for people from our community. I was invited to choose a book. I tried to get everyone to read Foster by Claire Keegan, which is only 70 pages, would have been a very quick reread, but couldn't get hold of enough copies. So instead we've switched to Kent Harouf's fabulous book, and it's 170 pages. I should be able to reread this weekend ahead of the discussion group, which I am facilitating on Sunday. Okay, a book haul. I know I said this, I'm in a period of not buying books, so 3 of these books were sent to me for free for different reasons. I'll talk about those. And then I have 5 books which I bought. I went into a secondhand bookshop. Last Sunday was the morning of the wedding in Edinburgh. My wife and my mother had hair appointments on Sunday morning in order to get ready for the wedding. We had my mum's car because we'd driven up from London. I took them to their hair appointments, and then I had about 45 minutes in which to find a bookshop in Edinburgh. And to my joy, there were a couple of secondhand bookshops that were open on Sunday morning in Edinburgh. This was like 10:30 in the morning, so I had low expectations that I'd be able to get anywhere, but I found a fabulous secondhand bookshop. I believe it's called Armchair Books in Edinburgh, and I bought some books there. So let's talk about them. So first of all, the books I got for free. This was a book that I wrote to the publisher and asked them to send me a copy. I haven't done very much of that. The times I've done it, I've been successful maybe 30-40% of the time. So it's very gratifying getting anything for free. I don't want to get necessarily on everyone's list because I don't want a bunch of books that I haven't necessarily chosen. But if there's something that I know I want to read and there's a chance of getting it for free, I do it. So the one that I got sent was this, Everyday Hate, How Anti-Semitism is built into our world and how you can change it, by Dave Rich, with some great blurbs on the cover. So we have up here Baron Danny Finkelstein, Sacha Baron Cohen, and David Baddiel, both of whom went to my school. Danny Finkelstein did not go to my school, Daniel Finkelstein, I should say, and then Marina Hyde, who did not go to my school or even my wife's school, but went to school where a lot of my friends went to school. So 2 blurbed on the front cover by 2 people who I went to school with. Daniel Finkelstein went to the same school as my grandfather. And not at the same time, obviously. And moving on to the back, we've got Sathnam Sanghera, who went to school in Wolverhampton, but Jonathan Friedland there, who went to the same school as Daniel Finkelstein, I think, too many years apart, but also went to UCS, where my maternal grandfather went to school. Rachel Riley and Julia Neuberger, who also wasn't Marina Hyde. Julia Neuberger went to Southampton High School for Girls, where I knew some people as well. So that is the school roundup of all the people blurbing Everyday Hate by Dave Rich. Looking forward to get to that. Then, as I'd been a member of Penguin surveys. Like, I must have signed up for something years ago, and every now and then I get an email in the post that fill in the survey, a new book coming out, do you like the cover? Like, really sort of random things get sent to me, but it's always fun, bookish fun, if you like, that kind of thing, and never takes up a lot of time, and you get to see things and you get to give an opinion, and why not? And they sent me the best email ever saying, thank you for your thing. You've qualified as a platinum member after 7 years. I don't know how long I've been doing this. And we'd like you to choose 2 books from the Penguin website, one from the classic section and one from the other section. I could not believe it. 2 books, 2 free books. So I took this opportunity to pick up another of my white whales and my first ever cloth-bound classic, and ordered a copy of a free copy, which they sent to my friend in London, of Vanity Fair by William Makepeace Thackeray. I mean, it's, first of all, these cloth-bound classics, I understand why they are fetishistic objet de désir. Is that right? Objet d'art. I don't know what you would call them, but they I mean, beautiful. My problem with is if you have a whole bunch of them, they're all different colors and all different designs, but just as, I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful object. You know, my preferred classic reading is always the Penguin classics, of which more to come, or not more to come. But I just thought it was an opportunity. Someone's going to send me a free book. This retails for like £17. I usually pay like £2-3 for second-hand copies of my classics. So to have this wonderful book sent to me for free was a joy, and I definitely will get this year if I ever finish Bleak House. And the other thing I chose, just because it had been on my radar and it was in my Amazon trolley, but I just hadn't got around to pulling the trigger. But here was an opportunity to get it for free, and this would have been a £12.99 paperback. And this is Salman Rushdie's Languages of Truth. These essays from 2003, 2020, which leads me very nicely then. And I just picked this up, and I've read a fair amount of Rushdie's fiction, and I read his autobiography, Joseph Anton, kind of autobiography, so that non-fiction. But I figure his essays will be entertaining and very readable and brilliantly erudite. And so I picked this up. Then, okay, so now I'm connecting this to the tiny book haul that I made, of 5 books. It's not so tiny. In my year of not buying books, I spent £18 on the next 5 books in Armchair Books in Edinburgh. So blame that. Great, they just had a fantastic selection. Really a well-stocked second-hand bookstore. And then the first thing I bought there, because I knew I had this, I bought his previous collection. So I'm really happy. I did this. This wasn't necessarily on my radar. Like, I knew this. I remember when this one came out, and hardback was £20 and blah blah blah. Anyway, got this, and then I managed to pick up his earlier collection, Step Across the Line, which is non-fiction, 1992 to 2002. So because, of course, being me, I will read the first lot before I read the second lot. But really pleased to have both of these. And what did I pay for this? £4 for this first collection, Step Across the Line, by Salman Rushdie, and picked up the next 2 Maigres. I tried to find some Poirot. They had a whole bunch of Agatha Christie's, and Agatha Christie's usually go pretty cheap in secondhand shops. These were not so cheap. These were £4 each. I can sometimes get them a little bit cheaper on eBay, and if you bundle them, but I'm trying not to order things on eBay or go nuts. So I picked up the next 2 in the Maigret series. I'm not sure which one comes first. Maigret and the Yellow Dog in this edition from Harcourt Brace, and they charged me £3.80 for that. And then one of these newer translations. This is Night at the Crossroads. This also cost me £3.80. That's 130 pages. I'm having such fun with the Maigrets. I've got them in all different editions, so it's a bit of a mess. Talking of all different editions, I have been working my way through Trollope. I finished the Barchester Chronicles. I've been reading the Palliser series, and I'm down to the last one. And I've read them all in Penguin Classics, not matching editions. So some have got photo covers, some have got the classic old orange, the complete orange spine. Some of them are from the special Trollope collection, which is orange all over, and numbered in order of publication, which is totally weird if you're reading a series. And some of them the old, sort of the black with the red bar, Penguin Classics. The 6th and final book in the Palliser series is The Duke's Children. They did not have a Penguin Classics version, and so I figured, seeing I've got such a mismatched collection anyway, I would actually splash, seeing it was there, and I'm looking to have a copy because I want to read it and finish that series and then go on to read other Trollope. So I have this older Oxford World's Classic. I believe this, some of these books have been going up to 800-900 pages. This is a brisk 600 page, but I've had such fun with the Palliser series, Trollope's anti-Semitism notwithstanding, that I wanted to go ahead. I will caveat that at some point in the future, if I ever find a Penguin Classics version of this cheaply in the wild, I may well switch it out. But in the meantime, this is the one I'm going to read. And then the last book I bought, just because in my head, I just feel like there's a big chunk of early 20th century literature that I don't spend a lot of time with. Now, a lot of those are women writers who I just, are sort of fallen out of fashion, and I have never read. People like Elizabeth Taylor, a lot of those writers that were published by, republished by Virago in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and I never read them because I don't have a good reason, but this is a male author from the early part of the 20th century who we did read. We read in school. I remember reading Scoop, Decline and Fall, and I think The Loved One. I think I may have read all three of those. I don't have copies. They were school books, and I wasn't so into them. But I remember getting the fact they were funny. So I've read some Evelyn Waugh, and I probably should reacquire those books and maybe reread them. Certainly, Scoop, I think I would probably enjoy, and The Loved One. Decline and Fall, is it Paul Pennyfeather? Is that the... Anyway, what I did pick up was this gorgeous edition of Brideshead Revisited, which I've never read. And I never watched the TV show. So it was broadcast like 1978, so it was very mumsy. It was a big TV event in the UK, and I think it came to America. PBS probably ran it. Big TV event, so I remember, it was a cultural moment. So I know all about Charles Ryder and Sebastian Flight and his teddy bear and the families, but I don't know anything about it. I've never read it, and I never watched the show except was it Anthony Andrews and not was it Jeremy Irons? Is it Jeremy Irons? Yes, I believe. Anyway, never read it. This lovely modern classics edition, nice big print, just around 300 pages. I thought I should probably dig in and see what I like. I don't know how urgent this one is, but that was it. Those are the 5 books I bought. Sorry, just a lot going on, and I really, really need to read Bleak House. But first of all, I've got to read Ken Haru's book, which I will not say in my British accent. Thank you. God bless. Bye.